And developing tonight, growing outrage out of Virginia, where the state's Democratic Attorney General announced that the Commonwealth will no longer recognize out-of-state concealed handgun permits held by residents of 25 states, a decision made unilaterally without the state legislature. The move will impact more than 6 million legal gun owners when it goes into effect next year. Joining me now, Guy Benson, political editor for townhall.com and a Fox News contributor, and Nomiki Konst, the founder and executive director of the Accountability Project. Welcome to you both.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. I'm sure we're going to see a spirited debate from the two of you on this one. Nomiki, I'll start out with the anger that we're seeing from the Republicans and supporters of the Second Amendment. Gun rights activist John Whitbeck, chairman of the Virginia Republican Party, said the Attorney General's announcement was further proof that Democrats have declared war on the Second Amendment. Your take?
Listen, I'm here in Arizona right now with my family, and my family, they're all gun owners, they're NRA members, and they said to me, listen, they want stronger gun laws. 75% of NRA members believe that there should be universal background checks, that there should be stronger gun laws on the books. All Virginia is trying to do right now is prevent, they have very safe gun laws on the books in Virginia, as do most states in America. But the states that have the weakest gun laws, they shouldn't allow their citizens to come in and carry, and they don't pass the same rules that the Virginia checks go through. So they're just trying to protect their own citizens. Just like if you smoke weed, if you have a license to a medical marijuana license in Colorado, you can't walk into a state and smoke weed saying, well, I have this medical marijuana license in my state. Why can't I smoke in this other state? State laws matter. And so if you can pass it, though, you can get a visitor's license.
Guy, and a clear sign that Americans feel that their Second Amendment right is being stripped away from them and more changes may be coming. This holiday season, I'm on the Fox Business Network all day long, and we have been consistently reporting a spike in gun sales in this country. A lot of people are going to be opening up a gun underneath their Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's not just gun sales, it's also polling on these issues. And look, I'm actually a Virginia resident. I vote in the state of Virginia. And what's fascinating is we just had an election, Sandra, in my state, and the Democrats in Northern Virginia campaigned on strict gun control laws to try to beef up gun control. And guess what? They lost. They failed to regain the state Senate despite this entire push that they put together. And so now that they've lost, now that they've had a failed attempt to convince voters, what are they doing? They're having the state attorney general, a Democrat, impose this agenda by fiat. Now, apparently he's within his legal rights and his authority to do so, but it's just interesting because the Democrats tried to persuade Virginians this is what ought to be done. Virginians disagreed. They're doing it anyway.
And they didn't want it, and they're still doing it anyway, Nomiki. And at the same time, that state attorney general is saying that this is what the state and this is what the people want.
This is all about the Virginia law. They're just saying that people who come from different states and who are abiding by their own laws have to follow Virginia law. And if they pass the Virginia law, they can have a visitor's license. Now, if we want to talk about politics here, let's talk about how the NRA spends $30 million a year lobbying the legislatures in these states. And in the states with the weakest gun laws, you have the most gun violence. And that is brought to you by gun manufacturers who aren't representing NRA members, who aren't representing the people who want safe gun laws in the books. They want to make sure that there are loopholes for felons, convicts, rapists, murderers, illegal immigrants to come and purchase guns, and terrorists. So if the NRA really cared about its members, maybe they should look at their polls rather than gun manufacturers who are making money off of tragedy.
Let's move forward. This Christmas holiday, you're going to be sitting down watching sports, many of us, and while you're watching basketball, you are likely, Guy, to see the National Basketball Association, the NBA, teaming up with Mike Bloomberg's gun control group. It's called Everytown. You were just seeing a glimpse of it there. This is an ad campaign to end gun violence, okay? The New York Times actually publishing today that this is unlike anything we've ever seen before. We've seen professional athletes speak out and have a stance on this, but until now, no major sports league has lent its name and logo to such an effort. And we are going to see these we're going to see this across all these games this holiday.
No, look, everyone is against gun violence, right? Especially law-abiding gun owners. Everyone in America is against gun violence. So, look, I have no problem with celebrities or athletes or whomever advocating on behalf of causes that they care about. I will point out that there was quite a snit fit on the left when Tim Tebow did something similar in an ad for the Super Bowl a few years ago on a pro-life issue. But look, they are well within their rights to get out there and make their case. I'm just not sure if these types of pushes are going to actually bring about new changes in terms of gun control laws, because, again, if you look at public opinion, it is shifting away from gun control, A, and B, the NBA has a bit of a gun violence culture to deal with itself. So this might be a bit of a physician heal thyself situation.
No, Miki, you're shaking your head. The ads we're going to feature, we're told, star NBA athletes calling for an end to gun violence. The first 30-second ad is set to run 5 times on Friday, Christmas Day alone. This is going to be a huge focus that they're putting out there on shooting victims. Your take?
Yeah, and a lot of these NBA players come from communities where there's gun violence and have had family members as victims. So I think those messages are very powerful, especially to Americans who do want sensible gun laws. And you know, to go back to Guy's point here, that's absolutely untrue. The polls are saying that gun owners want sensible gun laws. They don't want felons to have access to these guns. They don't want these open loopholes. They don't want the lax gun laws that they have in states where there's more gun violence. So I think, you know, kudos to Everytown. You know, they're only spending $300,000 a year on messaging and lobbying compared to the $30 million a year spent by the gun manufacturers and lobbying Congress. And that's why we're not having any action. You know, nothing's changing because lawmakers are being bought and sold. Every time there's a tragedy, you have the NRA they're going out there putting ads out to buy guns, and they're stomping into their legislator's office to get looser gun laws. And that's the problem. They're not representing their members.
You're ignoring the Constitution and the will of the people.
Legal gun owners fear that their rights are going to be stripped away. It's the illegal gun owners that we are concerned about, and the concern is that new laws
don't follow the law.
That's the point. All right, guys, thank you very much for both joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.